Hello fellow stackers, 365 here, welcome back to my channel. So first of all, I want to say that we have a first response back from eBay regarding the Xbox game that was sent to me instead of a 10-ounce silver bar. Now the first response is not a very good response, and I'm going to share these screenshots with you in today's video. But before we get into the video, I want to say I hope everyone's enjoying this kind of mini series. I decided to document every step of the way just to show people the processes and how easy or difficult it is to get your money back when being scammed on eBay. So I hope you're not getting too bored of the same videos of seeing a little bit of bubble wrap, a jiffy bag and a skating Xbox game. But I do think it's quite important to document these journeys because when you're stacking precious metals, it's not always rainbows. Sometimes you do come across fakes, and there are lots of times where you hear of people getting scammed on the secondhand market. So I think this little series that I've decided to do documenting this process will be helpful in the future if you ever find yourselves in an unfortunate situation. So let's get straight into the video and I'll show you the communications that I've had from eBay up till now. Now, the first one, you can see it says, "We're sorry you had a problem with your purchase. However, the seller provided tracking information that shows the item was delivered to your address. After reviewing all the details of this case, we determined that you won't receive a refund." So that was the very first communication that I got from eBay. Because they can see on their system that the tracking shows as delivered, they said that as far as they're concerned, it has been delivered and I will not be getting a refund. Now, I had an option when I logged into my eBay, I had an option to dispute that. I had an option to submit some more information, some more proof, and for them to review their decision. So that is what I did. I went straight onto eBay and I actually sent them a photo of this because the first time I raised the claim, I don't believe there was an option to actually send an image. So this time it actually gave me an option to send over more evidence, and I actually sent them the photo of this to show what I'd received. And I also shared them the video that many of you would have seen, the very first video of when I first unboxed it. So I actually sent that over to them. At first, that was a private video. So before I actually uploaded it to my main channel, that was a private video. So I made it so that it was able to be shared as unlisted. And I sent that over as the proof that this had arrived and I hadn't actually received the bar. So they had a photo of that and the actual video. So that's why it's so important, in my opinion. And like I said in the very first video, even if you don't want to make a YouTube channel or you don't want to document your unboxings, just do it for the sake of security and for proof, and to show that when you're unboxing things, it is what you're saying is inside. Because I don't think if I had the video to go alongside this, I would have had such a strong case. I think the fact that the tracking shows us delivered, it makes it a lot harder to be able to dispute these things. Now, after they reviewed it, they actually said that still wasn't enough. It says, "We weren't able to give you a refund. After reviewing the case, we decided to keep the original outcome. We weren't able to grant your appeal because we determined the original decision was correct." So they're still standing strong by their original decision. This is the bar that I should have received. A vintage Canadian mint bar. Absolutely stunning silver bar. But they are saying that even though I sent over the photo and the video, they're still saying they stand by their original decision and that I will not receive a refund. Now, I logged back into eBay and I was scrolling around on eBay trying to find an email address or another way of contacting customer services within eBay to basically dispute this again, because I've had two messages back now from eBay. The first one saying I will not receive a refund. The second one saying they've reviewed the case and they still stand by their original decision. And in the meantime of me doing that and searching around on eBay to try and find another way of contacting them, I actually received an email from eBay. Now, I received an email, and at first, to be honest, I thought it was a scam. I thought somehow someone had found out that I had a dispute on eBay and they were trying to scam me. And the reason I thought that is because they actually emailed me talking about, and I'm going to have to try and, it's quite hard to blur everything out, so I'm going to try and zoom in a little bit. But they actually emailed me about a weed killer burner, butane gas outdoor. I don't know what it was, but I've zoomed right in to kind of block out all my details. And that's my reply. But basically, they emailed me saying, we understand you've had an issue with receiving this gas weed killer thing. And the reason why they've sent it back saying that I will not be receiving a refund is because I've actually raised the wrong dispute. When I originally raised the dispute, I put it down as I haven't received the item, because obviously I haven't received the item. But they're saying that's not the case. You need to file it differently. You need to file a return item case. So even though I haven't received the item, I've received something different, you still have to put it down as you want to return the item. So yeah, a bit confusing, because I thought if I put it as a dispute that I haven't received the item, that is the right way to go, because I haven't received the item. But they're saying because I've still received something, I need to put it down as I want to return the item. So essentially they're trying to get me to return this game back to the seller, even though there's no proof that the seller is the person to blame. And like I said in my video that I uploaded the other day, there's a lot of things that point to the postal service or someone in between intercepting this parcel and swapping the bar out. But it's almost like eBay want to push it back completely to the seller. I don't know if that's because then it's down to the seller to dispute it with the postal service. I'm not quite sure. I replied back to the first email. I said, hello, thank you for your email. However, like I said, I thought it was a scam at first because it was the wrong item. However, this isn't the item. Weed killer burner. The item I'm expecting is a 10-ounce silver bar. Now, to be fair to eBay, they have been very quick in their responses. It says up to 48 hours to expect a reply, but they've been replying to me, I would say, within 12 hours. So half the time that they're saying they will get back to me, they've been responding. And they actually responded saying that's their fault. They didn't mean to link that item in the email or the message. In fact, it was the 10-ounce bar that they're talking about. And they basically said that I still need to return this game back, even though this isn't what the seller is saying they sent out in the first place. So it's all a bit confusing at the moment. They're saying that I might not necessarily have to send this back if the seller wants to issue me a refund, and they put their hands up and they say they'll take it on the chin and they will do the work to try and find out, I'm guessing, what's happened. But if the seller doesn't respond within, I think it said 3 days, so it gives the seller 3 days to basically refund me. And if they don't refund me, it looks like then I have to send this back. I'm not really too sure. We're kind of at a bit of a stalemate again at the moment. So that's the current situation. Still a bit confusing. I filed a not received item report because I haven't received the item. They told me that's the wrong way of doing it. They're saying I've got to raise a return. They're saying I've got to send this back, but they're also saying you might not have to send it back. It's down to the seller what they want to do. So yeah, there we go. That's the update. So at the moment, it's a bit of a waiting game again. The seller has also been messaging me separately as well. He said that he's also been messaging eBay basically with his version of events and assuring them that this is not what he sent out, assuring them that there's issues and the packaging reflects that, because I've sent him photos of the other side of this that shows it went to Germany. And I don't know how far along he is with eBay, but he said he's in communications with eBay as well. So it looks like we're both just trying to sort it out. I'm obviously trying to sort out not getting the bar. He's trying to sort out where the bar's gone. But ultimately, there's still no outcome at the moment. The actual seller messaged me privately and he said to me he's really sorry for all the trouble it's causing. And I replied saying, don't apologise if what you're saying is true and you haven't sent this out. There's no need to apologise. We're both having unwanted hassle, essentially. So at the end of the day, we both didn't want this to happen. If the seller is legit and he has sent out the silver bar, he has lost the silver bar. He might end up having to pay me back. and still not have a silver bar in return. You might end up having to get this back if I have to send that back. So yeah, it's a bit of a rubbish situation for us all to be in. Again, I'm not 100% sure what the outcome's going to be, but I will do another video in 3 days' time when we get the final outcome. So yeah, there we go. A lot to take in, a lot of stress, a lot of hassle, all for a 10-ounce silver bar. But that bar is absolutely stunning. Now, I'll tell you what I've done. I really want this 10-ounce silver bar. So I've actually gone on eBay and I've actually ordered another one already. I've found a different seller on eBay and I've ordered another one. It's cost me slightly more, but I haven't, like I said, I haven't got the refund for this one yet, but I just really want this bar. There's a reason I really want this bar, and I will explain the reasons why in a future video. So yeah, I'm out of pocket twice, essentially, because I'm still out of pocket from this one and I've ordered the bar again. But there we go. So yeah, I'll do another video in a few days' time. I'll give you another update. Sorry these videos are a little bit all over the place. Sorry it's not my normal content. But like I said, I do think these videos are important. I think it's important to document the negatives in stacking as well, and to also show the processes that you go through when this sort of thing happens. So there we go. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support and I hope you have a very nice day.